These photos show the Azot chemical plant in Severodonetsk. The Russian occupiers are constantly shelling it. More than 500,000 civilians are on its territory, hiding from the shells. The enemy is trying to assault Severodonetsk and the settlements nearby. Despite the shelling, over 50 people were evacuated from the Luhansk region.
Hurry up, run out, get in a car and leave.
The enemy also continues to attack the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kharkiv and Donetsk regions. Fierce fighting is going on in two settlements.
Brief news on two imported settlements. Bohorodichna is not seized, now 50-50. Ternova, there is fighting going on. It is difficult to say yet for whom the settlement belongs to. Viktor Andrusiv, advisor to the Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine.
The Russian occupiers are also trying to break through in other directions. They use heavy artillery for shelling.
На Бахмутському напрямку.
In the Bakhmut direction, the Russian occupiers fired at Ukrainian forces with mortars, cannons and rocket artillery in the areas of Mykolaiivka, Berestove, Vrubivka, Pokrovsk and New York. Russian troops launched an airstrike near Bilohorivka. In the area of Berestove, Ukrainian forces repulsed the enemy assault, inflicted losses on it and forced it to retreat to its formerly occupied positions.
The armed forces of Ukraine eliminated over 70 Russian servicemen and 19 units of equipment in the east. An enemy ammunition warehouse was destroyed in the temporarily occupied city of Nova Kakhovka. According to eyewitnesses, the shells had been exploding for more than 3 hours. The Ukrainian military has been making some tactical success in the Kherson direction for a couple of weeks in a row.
The Ukrainian Armed Forces have advanced 5 more kilometers from Tavrisk. We are approaching Tomanabalka, which is 20 kilometers to Kherson, where the orcs are located. Now the fighting is going on in the area between Tavrisk and Tomanabalka. Serhiy Khlan, advisor to the head of the Kherson Regional Military Administration.
Ukraine would be able to advance more rapidly to the front line if it receives more weapons from the West. International partners transferred only 10% of what official Kyiv requested. According to the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, to fully defeat Russia, it is necessary to unite the world in multiple directions.
І в ті дні багато хто мені дзвонив.
There were concrete steps to strengthen our army with weapons. Then there were steps to strengthen our economy, financial support. And then there were steps to weaken the Russian economy. This is a policy of sanctions against Russia. It is in these 3 areas that we need to unite the world and Europe. It's not easy, but our strength depends on it.
Russian occupiers shelled Apostolova in the Dnipropetrovsk region using Uragan multiple rocket launchers. 4 civilians were killed. Rescuers eliminate the consequences of the shelling. Almost an entire street was destroyed by missile attack in Dobropilya, the Donetsk region. About 15 houses were partially damaged. 1 person was killed and there were wounded. There is nothing left in my soul, nothing pain and fear, and what to do, where to go to live next. The Ukrainian Air Defense Forces managed to shoot down 3 cruise missiles in the western Ukraine during the day. Fragments of missiles fell down in the Lviv region. A civilian infrastructure facility was damaged. 6 people were wounded, including 1 child. Fragments also fell down in the Ternopil region. There were no casualties. To date, Russia has 2 missile carriers and 1 submarine position in the Black Sea. They are ready to launch 20 cruise missiles at once at the same time. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine is urging not to ignore the air raid alarm, reported by Ksenia Buha, Alexander Belov, UATV News.